Family for Kids Corporation. We're here at the Dolphin Conservation Center at Marineland in St. Augustine, Florida. With me is Taryn McGinnis, Director of Education. What are some of the programs available to the public here at the Conservation Center?
Well, we have people who come here who've never met a dolphin before and might be a little bit intimidated by the big animals or by all the water. So we do have programs for folks who just want to get right up to the side of the habitat and maybe touch a dolphin for the first time, have the chance to see what they feel like, have a chance to feed a dolphin, have their first close-up encounter. So we do have those opportunities for people who aren't quite ready to get all the way in the water. And then for those folks who are a little bit more adventurous, we have in-water programs where people can actually set foot in the water but keep their feet on solid ground. So those are shallow water encounters. And then for the really adventurous folks, we have deep water swim programs where they can go all the way out and meet a dolphin in its territory.
What do some of the dolphins get out of these programs?
Well, I think there's sort of two ways to answer that question. For our dolphins who live here at Marineland, who do the dolphin encounters with the guests, it's a great opportunity for both mental and physical stimulation. These dolphins, for the most part, were all born here and have been around people their whole lives, so it's just a part of their sort of natural daily routine. But I think the bigger and sort of more exciting answer to that question is really what it can do for the wild dolphins, what they get out of this. I think for a lot of our guests who come here, some of them don't have that much of a connection to the ocean and the animals who live in it. For a lot of people, it's a sort of a big, scary, mysterious environment out there, and for a lot of people who live in landlocked areas, they've never even seen the ocean. And so when you've never seen a habitat and you've never seen the animals who live in it, it's hard to really have a true feeling of conservation toward those animals when you just haven't been brought up around them. And so I think for a lot of people, this first opportunity to have an emotional connection with this incredible experience with these 13 animals who live at Marineland brings them closer to all the marine life that lives out there in the ocean and closer to the ocean itself and more likely to engage in conservation-related behavior.
What are some of the different jobs people have here, and what kind of training is needed for those jobs?
We actually hire a lot of different people, and they do a lot of different jobs here. Of course, we have dolphin trainers and animal care experts, and they take care of the dolphins and the fish that live here. For our animal care experts, we really do require a college degree, although really there's no degree that teaches you how to be a dolphin trainer. That really you learn on the job.
Top fin of a dolphin called?
That fin is called the dorsal fin, and it actually helps the dolphin with balance, and there's no bones at all in the dorsal fin.
How can you tell the dolphins apart?
Well, you have to be here for a while to be able to tell them apart, but once you really start paying attention, you'll notice that there are variations in color, there's variations in body size and shape, there's certainly variations in their behavior and their personalities, and then also, of course, different parts of their body will get different nicks and scars on them just over the course of life, and those are a great way to tell dolphins apart. And in fact, when scientists who are studying wild dolphins are trying to tell individual wild animals apart, it's frequently only the dorsal fin that they're able to see, and so they really are counting on variations in the dorsal fin specifically to help them identify different dolphins. So it's usually nicks in that dorsal fin, which they get, again, because they don't have bone in it, and that's how scientists are able to tell them apart.
Dolphins make a lot of vocalizations and funny noises. Are they actually talking?
Oh, I wish we knew if they were talking and if they are, what they're saying. You know, it's one of those questions we would love to ask them. I think we can sort of tell that different sounds probably are conveying different meanings, and there's certainly different sounds, as well as body language, which is also really important, that they are making when, different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probably 10 to 15 different sounds that they can make when different things are happening in their lives, you know. So there's probab messages that are being conveyed. I believe that at this point we've sort of decided there's not a formal language in the way that humans define language, with a grammar and a syntax, but that really is sort of a human-defined version of what language is. Those sounds do seem to be communication of some sort, but we don't have any idea what they're saying.
What are the goals of your dolphin programs?
Well, with all of our programs, people have an opportunity to get close up with the animals, and for a lot of people that really creates a very strong emotional reaction. This is their first chance for a lot of these folks to be close to such an amazing animal. What we want to do is take that emotion that they're feeling right there at that moment and sort of harness it into wild marine mammal ocean habitat conservation. That whatever people are feeling at that point toward that individual animal that they're working with, if we can get them to just turn their heads and look at the ocean that's right here and care and understand a little bit more than maybe they did when they first came to Marineland, we would absolutely have met our goal. That's what we want to do. These 13 dolphins that are here are helping so much to create a really huge change in people's attitude and understanding toward wild animals and the ocean that they live in.
Our viewers may be surprised to learn that Marineland was the first oceanarium in the world and the first facility to successfully breed dolphins. How long do the dolphins here at Marineland usually live?
Well, we have Nellie, who is 57 years old. She was born right here at Marineland, so we know exactly how old she is. We also have 4 other dolphins that are in their early to mid-40s. And then we have dolphins in their 20s, dolphins in their teens, and all the way down to 2 years old.
How does this compare to the age of dolphins in the wild?
Well, the best studied populations of wild dolphins, the average life expectancy is about 25 years of age. Of course, out in the wild, they have to put up with a lot of things that our dolphins don't have to, such as staying away from predators like sharks. They also have to travel miles a day to find their own food. Here at Marineland, our dolphins get room service brought right to the side of the pools.
What does voluntary hydration mean?
Because we have so many geriatric dolphins here, we do keep a close eye on things like kidney values and liver values and things like this. The dolphins do not go around drinking the seawater that they're swimming in. They need fresh water just like we do. So to make sure that they're getting plenty of fresh water, especially for the geriatric animals getting up there in their 40s and 50s, we train them to let us put a stomach tube down their mouth into their first stomach, and we just pour water straight down into the stomach, making sure they're getting plenty of water to keep everything flushed through and moving. And again, it's a very easy behavior to train. Most of our dolphins are trained to accept that also.
Now it's time for a dolphin quiz. You get 10 points for each correct answer. Question number 1. The most commonly known dolphin is A, the black dolphin, B, the bottlenose dolphin, or C, the spinner dolphin. The answer is B, the bottlenose dolphin. True or false? Dolphins are cold-blooded. Dolphins are warm-blooded. True or false? There are 32 types of dolphins. True. There are 32 species of dolphins in seawater, but there are 5 species of dolphins in freshwater. True or false? Dolphins can breathe underwater. The answer is false. Dolphins can stay up to 15 minutes underwater, but they cannot breathe underwater. Question number 5. The main diet of dolphins includes fish and squid, starfish, or cheeseburgers. The answer is A, The main diet of dolphins is fish and squid. That sounds really good right now.
It's time for the last 5 questions. True or false? Dolphins sleep with both eyes closed. The answer is false. Dolphins sleep with one eye and one half of their brain closed. How many hours a day do dolphins sleep? 2 hours, 4 hours, or 8 hours? The answer is C. Dolphins sleep for about 8 hours a day, just like me. How long do dolphins live for? 10 to 15 years, 20 to 25 years, or 40 to 50 years? True or false? Dolphins and great apes have something in common. The answer is true. Both can learn complicated language like commands. True or false? Most dolphins are about 6 feet in length. True. Males are 4 to 8 inches longer than females.
If you got all our questions correct,
You get 100 points. Hey you! You know who you are. Watch this.
Hi, my name is Janae and we're at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Come along with me.
But today, we're here to talk about dolphins. I want you to meet my trainer. His name is Captain Lee.
Today we're here with Captain Lee, Park Ambassador to Discovery Kingdom. Can you tell us how you got started?
Actually, I've always had a real fascination for animals, and I started here about 15 years ago as just kind of picking up after the animals around here and learning how to train. I loved it so much, I actually worked with a lot of the animals here. I've worked with tigers, I do the tiger show, done elephant shows, trained the dolphins. I've even raced the tiger cubs.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How much do they weigh?
Well, we have 4 dolphins up here at Dolphin Harbor. 2 in this pool, that's Sunny and Brandy. They weigh almost 400 pounds, but they're not fully grown yet. And over in the other pool, we have Brisby and Ty, fully grown. They're 18 years old, and they weigh almost 500 pounds.
Wow. What do they like to eat?
Well, the only thing dolphins like to eat are fish. They don't like broccoli, french fries, or hamburgers, just fish. And these guys get a mixture of herring and capelin.
What's herring capelin?
All right, this is a capelin, kind of a smaller fish, and this is a herring.
That looks yummy. Not. How long do dolphins live?
Dolphins usually live about 25, maybe 30 years, but we actually have one here at Discovery Kingdom that's 48 years old.
48 years old, that's pretty old.
Yeah, 48 years old is pretty old for a dolphin, but that's because she gets really good care here, always has good food and no stress.
Do dolphins like people?
Actually, dolphins are a very social animal. They love to interact with each other, and quite a few of them actually like to interact with us. They love being rubbed down and pet, but sometimes they have their days where they just want to go off and just swim around and play with each other.
How fast do they swim?
Dolphins are very, very powerful animals, and they can swim up to 20 miles an hour.
That's really fast. How high can they jump out of the water?
Well, dolphins could usually jump about 3 times their body length. That's pretty high, huh?
Wow, I wish I can jump that high. Do dolphins like to play together?
A lot of the time they do, especially with the younger dolphins. They like to wrestle around, and they do flips around each other. They'll chase each other around the pool. It's really fun to watch.
How is our dirty oceans affecting their lives in the wild?
Actually, you know, the dirty oceans are affecting a lot of the marine life, including dolphins. That's because man is letting a lot of bad toxins and poisons seep into our oceans.
That's gross. How many dolphins do you have here?
We actually have 13 dolphins up here at Discovery Kingdom. They're all in different areas, 4 right here at Dolphin Harbor.
Do they like to be touched by humans?
You know, each dolphin is different. They have their own personalities. Some like to be touched and rubbed down, and then the next day they might just want to swim off and not have you bother them.
Hey, Captain Lee, how do they sleep underwater?
Actually, that's a very good question. Now, the thought is that dolphins actually close down one side of their brain at a time. And so they're always kind of awake when they're sleeping. Sounds kind of weird. They'll actually be near the surface of the water, and guess what? They keep one eye open all the time so they can see what's going on.
Wow, that's really interesting. When I sleep, I want both of my eyes closed.
Yeah, I like to have both my eyes closed too. But you know, the reason they stay at the surface of the water when they sleep is because they have a blowhole on top of their head, and that's where they breathe from. They don't even breathe through their mouth at all.
Wow. Do dolphins have several babies at once or one?
No, they just have one baby, and you know, they're pregnant for about a year. That's pretty incredible, huh?
Yeah. What do dolphins do for fun?
Well, you know, when they're younger, they like to play with each other. And as they get older, they don't play as much. They like to wrestle around, do that kind of stuff. But one of their favorite things to do here at Discovery Kingdom, they love to play with footballs and basketballs. They'll take them around the pool, they'll throw them up in the air. Sometimes they'll take them all the way down to the bottom of the pool and let them go and chase them all the way to the surface.
Wow, that sounds like fun. Captain Lee, how do you train a simple behavior?
Actually, it's very simple. We use this. This is called a target bead. Now, the dolphins, when they're babies, are trained to touch their nose to this, okay? So we're going to have a dolphin come over here, and I'm going to show you exactly how we train the head movement, yes. Dolphin's trained to touch its nose right to this target, and if wherever I move it, the dolphin's going to follow it. So if I want to train him to do a yes, I simply hold it here, and I move it up and down. See, and he did a yes. If I want to train a no, move it backwards and forwards. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, Captain Lee, for your time. I can't wait to see your show today.
Yep, I'll see you there.
Check this out.